Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Jude, aka LOUIJU Trucker here, and I'm back again rolling another video at you. Coming at you from Plainfield, New Jersey, South Plainfield, and picked up this load in Miami, not Miami, but Fort Pierce, Florida. Brought it all the way up here to I don't even know what the name of this customer is, but yeah, let me tell you guys. This video is gonna be about my life before trucking, so this is gonna be like a one-take video. So I'm gonna just give you a little story. Yesterday, it was smooth driving. Coming up here from like a day and a half ago. As soon as I got to Delaware, that's when all the caca started happening, man. Like traffic jams. I had to reroute out of traffic, probably about 30-40 miles all the way just to go around just to get back into more traffic. I don't know what's going on with people, but something's going on. Construction, people aren't driving, accidents, I don't know. But anyways, that's besides the point. This is gonna be a little quick. I don't know if it's gonna be quick or not, but I'm trying to keep it under 10 minutes. It's gonna be my life before trucking. So, quick synopsis. I was born December 9th, 1998. For those you don't know, my name is Jude. You know, you guys know I go by LOUIJU Trucker or Jude, wherever. If you guys see me, either or will do fine. I am 22 years old. A lot of people say I look way younger than my age, like I'm still in high school or middle school. I had one person tell me that, man, you look like you're 25, 20 something. I'm like, nah, man. More people say I look young than I do old, so I guess that's a good thing. Let's see. Graduated high school a few years ago in 2017 from Coy High School in Coy, Florida. Let's see. Before I became trucking, I was gonna become a general contractor. I was very into construction. I got in my construction class at about the 11th grade. I really liked it. Took the second part in 12th grade, and I really thought that construction was gonna be my thing. You know, I wanted to be the general contractor who go out there and builds people a house, hire everybody outside people, you know, the electricians, the actual construction crew, drywall people, tile people, roofing people. So that's what I actually wanted to do before trucking. But trucking did always have a place in my heart because my dad, he owned his own truck. He was a dump truck driver, but he did own his own truck. So and he's been driving trucks, I think, a little bit after I was born, maybe since I was like 5, 6, 7, I don't know. Anyway, so he bought his own truck, so I always would go on like dump truck rides with him. You know, some weekends where I'm out of school, I go up with him for a day, or he'll pick me up from school in the dump truck, and I just thought it was just so cool. So he's kind of the main reason why I got into trucking. My dad is also named Jude. I'm Jude Jr. So, fun fact. Anyways, so yeah, he's kind of we'll go back to. So I was going to go to Valencia, so I could set the general contractor. But then I got a little, like, not really nervous, but I got a little like I wanted to start making money fast. So, but before I did that, so right when my first job ever was working for the Lowe's Hotel at Universal Studios. So I was technically a Universal employee, but I was more so an employee of the hotels, Lowe's. So we got a little bit better perks. So sorry, Universal people. We got better perks than Universal, better discounts and everything. Plus we got basically almost, I think, a little bit more than half off any room. But I digress. I'm babbling on. So that's when my first job. I worked at Lowe's. What was the name of the hotel? I forgot. Lowe's Portofino Bay. That's what it's called. So if you guys look that up, it's actually a very nice hotel. Too expensive if you ask me, but it is very nice, I ain't gonna lie. So yeah, that was my first job. I worked there for about 2 years, about two and a half years, and I loved that job, to be honest. Like, that was my first job. At the time I was making about $9.50 an hour, but it was also a tipped position, so I would easily bring it home about, for my age, I was about like 18. I was easily bringing home about $800 to $900, sometimes $1,000 every 2 weeks. And that was good for me at the time. You know, I was still going to school. I was working part-time hours, but I was part-time status, I should say, working full-time hours. So every day after school, I'd probably be there about 4 or 5 o'clock. Most times 5, because there's already like a 4 o'clock person who came in. But when they did need me, I was right there. So I would probably go home and shower, get ready, and go straight to work. So I really never had a problem with that. I got off early enough to where I still had time to go to school the next day. I got off around like 11, 12, being up by 6:30. School's only about 15-20 minutes away, so I had all the time to do whatever I want. But anyways, graduated from high school, started transition to that job full time. But literally like 2 to 3 weeks after, I resigned and I went to this moving company, which was probably one of the worst decisions I ever made in my life. Me thinking, because quick little story from my story. So I got my Class B license from Mid Florida Tech when I was 19 years old. I really wanted the Class A, but they said you had to be 21 because I guess of the road mileage, you needed to go in and out of state just to get your little experience. So I'm like, man, that sucks. So I went ahead and got my Class B license. So I've been a CDL driver since I was 19. Well, I should say CDL holder. I passed that flying colors, trifecta, just like I did at Prime. Passed that with no pre-trip, aced. Backing, aced. Road test, aced. So it was like, I'm saying it was easy, but I was more comfortable behind a big wheel. So once I passed, that's when I went to the moving company. And me thinking that, okay, they have commercial trucks, all I'm going to be doing is driving trucks, chilling and relaxing. Nope. I was actually out there moving people's furniture, moving people's pianos and everything. I'm like, man, this is not what I signed up for. So I just stuck with it for a while. And then, fortunately, I had a little accident playing some recreational basketball. Tore my ACL and my left knee and a little bit of my meniscus. So that put me out of commission where I couldn't even drive a truck. Well, it was my left knee, so, but still I couldn't even work. So I was probably down for about 2 or 3 months recovering. So that's it for that job. I was not going to come back after that, so I started looking for another job. So I was 20 at the time. 20, about to turn 21. So at the time, there was this, I used to work for this paratransit company called MV Transportation, where we would pick up and drop off disabled people or paraplegic people wherever they wanted to go. Work, school, meetings, like wherever, coffee, whatever, you name it. So, right, that was actually a good job. And that was the job I had before I came to Prime. So, yeah, so I applied there when it was November, and my birthday's in December. So literally, I'm like, hey, you gotta think I get them. They said, no, you have to be 21, but come back in a month. I'll remember you. So, right, literally on the day of my birthday, that's when I came back and applied. And the lady who I was talking to the first time, she's like, weren't you here the other month? I'm like, yeah, you remember me? And like, yeah. And she's like, I knew you'd come back. And I'm like, yeah. So, right, that was that job. So I went through training through that, passed that easy, the backing course and whatever. The only thing I did not like about that job was, number one, I had to wake up at 3 in the morning. It was more so like 10 to 12 hour shift, but I was mostly doing 12-hour shifts. So my schedule would be like from 3 to 3. But the worst part of the schedule is that I had a set schedule, but it wasn't really set. So I was working Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. But every day I would have to call at around like 11 p.m., 10, 11, 12 p.m. 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and maybe like 12 a.m. for the next day, just to figure out what time I worked the next day. So, right, they always preached about you need to get 6 to 8 hours of sleep, but I'm like, so how can I do that if I have to literally stay up at night just to call you guys at 11 just to figure out that I work at just got a message from my freak manager. Anyway, how am I gonna get that kind of sleep if I have to stay up at 11 just to figure out what time I work? And usually it's like at 3, or it could be 4 or 5. I never know. They always changing it up. So I was always drowsy at that job driving. I used to always have to make some coffee, energy drinks, and that's when all this COVID stuff started happening. So as soon as COVID started happening, we started seeing a decrease in people going on the board. So without warning, they just stopped putting me on the schedule. So me not knowing what furlonged is, or I was never laid off, or nobody had a communication. So I would literally call for about 3 weeks straight, and they would say, no schedule found, or blah, blah, blah. So me thinking, okay, maybe, because of COVID and everything, I'm just going to be furlonged. So I went ahead and started applying for unemployment benefits. And then about a month and a half later, I kind of gave up on the job. About a month and a half later, they called me. They're talking about, hey, are you still working with us? Are you still? So I'm like, what do you mean? Am I still working with you guys? You guys have put me on a schedule for like 3 or 4 weeks. So you guys have me thinking that you guys have prolonged me. So I'm like, I'm trying to get some unemployment benefits to get some money. So they say, no, we haven't. Blah, blah. I'm like, okay, so y'all haven't called me, no text messages. I'm not on the schedule. So what else you guys expect me to think? You know, that's a logical thing somebody's going to think. Like, maybe COVID. You know, go find some other work. So right. They had some positions over where they wanted me to go clean the actual city bus. You know, the guys go pick you up at different bus stops. I'm like, me and this knee surgery right here, they ain't gonna work out. I did it one time and I'll never again. I'd rather just stay home because I was like physically unable to do it at the time that I was still recovering from knee surgery and my knee wasn't as good as it is now. So my goal right there was to work. I'm at like 11 minutes, so let me hurry up wrap this up. My goal was to work there for at least like 6 months until I came to Prime, because I was already focused on what trucking company I wanted to go to. But until the whole furlong thing happened, I'm like, man, now is the time. Now it's time to go to Prime to make some money and training, because I'm wasting my time here. You know, I had a set plan, but I guess it didn't work, so I had to revise and redo my plan. So I think maybe about 2 months, 3 months after that, that's when I applied to Prime and went and got my Cdl Permit, passed that with no ease. Since I already had my Class B, all I had to do was take the combinations and a tanker. And this may surprise you. At the time I was applying for Prime, they were not hired from Florida anywhere. So right, this is how dedicated I was trying to come to Prime. I had to have my cousin, his friend, he lives in Alabama. So one day he's like, man, look, use my friend's address so you can get your license in Alabama and then come to Prime. So right, I did that. I had to wake up at like 3 or 4 in the morning and drive all the way to Dothan, Alabama. So I'm there I took 75 north, and somewhere leads over there to Dothan. So right, that's how much dedication I was. It was about like a 6-hour drive. So I got there about 7 o'clock in the morning, their time, I think it's Central Time, and just so I could be at the DB at 8 o'clock. That's how much dedication I had going to Prime. Let me tell you guys, the first time I went there, I forgot my Social Security, because apparently if you never had Alabama license before, you need to bring documentation like proof of your birth certificate, Social Security, all that other good stuff, your old license. I forgot that. Me, I was so upset. I ended up taking a driver's shame, 6 hours all the way back home, just to do it again the next morning. Yeah, that's how dedicated I was. So right, that time, I got about, this is another funny part, I got about 50 miles up the road, like a little bit like towards Ocala, Florida. Realized I didn't have my Social Security again. Drive all the way back home, just to drive all the way back up to Alabama. So that was some dedication I had going on. So I ended up getting a license and everything. I ended up getting my permit in Alabama. Took the tanker and combination endorsement there. And as soon I got the Prime, about a few weeks later, and I know they always say come to Prime with some money, which is true. It's good to have some money back behind you, but I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I had probably about $1,000 in my bank account, maybe a little bit less, maybe like $800 to $900. So right, that was enough just to pay my bills for the month, have a little something to eat on. So I wasn't really too stressed about it. I'm not gonna say stressed. I wasn't really too worried about finances, because I just had that. I really didn't have much bills at the time, because I'm still living with my address is I live in my truck, but my home address is at my dad's house. So let's see, where to leave us. Yeah, so I got my permit there, and as soon as I got the Prime, you guys know, go through PSD training, pass that with ease, trifecta. As soon as I started TNT, that's when they announced that they started hiring from like Okeechobee and up. So basically, if I would have waited probably about a few weeks longer, I would need to go through all that trouble going to Alabama just to get my CDL. But anyways, at the time it was worth it. This is what I wanted to do. This is what I needed to do. This is what I've always envisioned myself doing. So it's just nice to know that during that time that I wish they would have said something. I could have waited a little longer. And now they're hiring all of Florida now. So now, any of you guys from Florida, I'm from Orlando. If any of you guys from Florida, Miami, Pensacola, Fort Pierce, West Palm, Tampa, wherever you are, you guys can come get in it while it lasts, because I don't know if it's gonna last. Anyway, so yeah, I got the Prime. I went through PSD, TNT, and then got my truck. But I'm gonna make a review about process of going through everything. But I think that's about it. That's just really my life about before trucking. I do want to try out this new outro I've been thinking of. If you guys like it, let me know. All right, so here it goes. Without further ado, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'm growing. This is what I've always said. But 256 subscribers. Thank you guys for everybody. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for everybody who's commenting, all the good love I'm seeing. I've been seeing a lot of good love lately, so I appreciate every one of you guys. Drive safe, and stay tuned for another video soon. That's the outro right there. Stay tuned for another video soon. Let me guys know what you think about that. Yay or nay? Or you guys give me some suggestions. So, all right, like, comment, subscribe. This has been your boy Jude. Stay tuned for another video soon, and I'm out. Peace.